What is up, people? Welcome back to the daily vlogs. Evo build continuing on today. Right now we're on the way. Got a text this morning. Your Evo front bar is ready for pickup. Man, I buy so many freaking car parts lately that every day is like Christmas with new car parts showing up everywhere. So freaking good. So right now we're picking up the front bumper for the car, which I think is like the crowning jewel of the car. That's what's going to really make this thing Evo like. Okay, I also got some Datsun parts this morning show up, which is freaking awesome because that means that we're going to be able to do a Datsun episode or two coming up very soon. That thing's kind of been put on hold obviously while we're doing the Evo build, also because I was waiting for some specific parts to turn up, and those parts are very hard to get a hold of because Datsuns are just stupid rare, and then these parts were even rarer. I'll explain it further in the Datsun episode coming up very soon. But yeah, right now picking up the front bar, then we're gonna head to the factory. More budget Evo build coming your way. Nice. All right, we're back at the shop. Look at all these frickin' parts, man. But look at this. This is our new Evo front bar for the fake Evo. For the budget Evo, fake Evo, FEVO. So, this is from Team Jet Speed here in Melbourne. I literally searched everywhere to try and find a freaking front bar for this thing. I could not find one anywhere. I thought when I got this project, I was like, it's gonna be super easy to find, you know, the rep parts and stuff for this and kind of put it together. But seriously, finding the Evo front bar, impossible. Until Woz pointed me towards these guys. He got this front bar for his girlfriend's 180 that she drifts. And these guys, I bought this on Saturday. It wasn't even made. They have the molds. And today is Thursday, and I picked it up. That's how quick they are. Sick quality, man. Looks so freaking good. Like, oh, this is literally gonna change the whole front of our car. Look at that freaking bumper, and then look at this. I'm actually over the moon. So, of course, you know, we've got our front mount here from Max Speeding Rods. So you sit that in behind there. Look at that, man. It's gonna look crazy. Man. You know what? My ADD has gotten the better of me. I'm gonna do a test fit right now because I really want to see how this thing's gonna look on the front. Obviously it's gonna have to be taken off. We've got to paint it. We've got to do all the rest of the turbo stuff, but I need to test fit it. So here we go. Well, that front bumper was held on by 2 bolts, so that's good. Makes taking it off really easy. Not quite sure how well this is all going to fit. Oh man, it's gonna be so good. Ooh, suss that out. You kidding me? So that went on very easily. Fitment looks pretty darn good, guys. Obviously it's just sitting on there at the moment, and it's black, so it's hard to kind of see how it's all gonna come together once it's painted, but I can tell you that looks frickin' a million times better. I'm still unsure about the bonnet scoop, really. I don't know. Woz reckons I should keep it and we should make it functional because it suits the look of the car. I just think it's a little bit too much. I'm more of a subtle kind of person. I like cleanliness, but look at that. Man, the transformation this thing has gone through from when we bought it in here, literally not even a week ago, to what it is now. Holy balls, man. Once we get the mesh in behind here, I've got to get those like spotlights, which is so cool for the front bumper. Mesh up top with the Mitsubishi emblem in the top of the bumper. The intercooler sits in the middle of it. It's all just gonna frickin', it's gonna look so good. I don't know what I'll do about the headlights and indicators. I think Evo's run the amber colored indicators, so I might try and find those, and obviously we'll buff the crap out of the headlights to make them look all nice and new again. All right, enough of that. Time to get back into the turbo conversion. So here in this box we have our turbo from Max Speeding Rods. Shout out Max Speeding Rods, thank you guys. Remember to use code MikeLake for 15% off their entire store. Yeah boy. This is the turbo that we're going to be using for this build. Let's have a look. Boom. So this is your T3, T4 turbo. I have used a bunch of these, actually 3 of them I think in total on my builds previously. We started this channel with the 1.8 litre E36 drift car, and it was supercharged, and then we turboed it, and when I turboed it, I used this exact turbo. Pretty much this is literally a whole homemade turbo kit. It's been actually a whole bunch of fun to make, really. Lots of learning curves along the way. see a lot of commentary about these turbos online. In my experience, I've never ever had one of these turbos fail. I ran one for 2 years straight, zero issues whatsoever. Most of the time when people have any type of problems with their turbos, it's because they don't supply oil properly to the turbo or drain the oil properly from the turbo, okay? And that's when you stuff your seals and all that type of stuff. So really important that you get that right. So the build quality of these turbos, rad, perfect for what we're doing, which is our budget build. Obviously for a $1,000 car, we're not gonna go out and buy a $2,000 turbo, all right? This turbo is gonna provide boost to our engine. These are about $150 or $200, which is nuts, to be honest, if you really think about it. This one is internally gated, so it's got the actuator here. I didn't want to do an external wastegate on this car because this is a street car, and I wanted to keep it, you know, as legal as possible. So we're going to keep it internally gated. Also, an external wastegate just means we have to do more fabrication and more routing. Internal wastegate makes life really easy. This should be about a 7 psi wastegate. Obviously, we can put a boost here if we want in it and turn the boost up, which is something we'll very likely end up doing. So today, what I really want to do is get our turbo manifold finished, so finish welding that up. I've got some heat paint here that we're going to chuck on it as well to make it look all nice and pretty, because at the moment that rusty boy is not doing the trick for me. And we're going to fit up our new turbo. The link for this turbo is in the description below. I think I made 200 kilowatts or so on a 2.5 litre straight 6 BMW motor with this turbo, but I just can't wait to get this thing freaking boosting on this motor. So the frame of this turbo, especially with the actuator, is actually a little bit bigger than the turbo that we mocked up in here. But in saying that, hopefully it all fits up as it should. The turbo itself is actually smaller, so the rear housing is smaller, the front housing is smaller. It's just the frame itself. The compressor housing is a bit bigger, just with everything attached. And here you can see there's an oil restrictor, so we'll leave that in there because obviously it's made for this turbo. Just regulates the oil pressure going through the turbo. A lot of times as well, people don't run these when they're supposed to, and that'll bugger your turbo super quickly. You can see we've got a V-band rear housing on this thing, so all in all, just the perfect turbo, hopefully, for this car. I don't think it'll be too big for the 1.8 litre. I'm fairly sure this is going to spool up pretty nicely, but time will tell. So first things first, we're going to pull the TD06 Kinagawa turbo off, and we're going to test fit this turbo and actually make sure that it works. Boom. Here's the turbo that we use for the mock-up, TD06 20G. Here's the turbo that we are using. So as you can see, this one looks bigger, but it's actually not bigger. It's a smaller turbo. Look at the rear housing on this one versus this one, so this will spool up a lot quicker than this one would. But I'm not going to pretend like I know much about turbos, because I don't. I just know that they go so-doo-doo-doo. We're going to mock this one up now. Alright, so a couple of updates. I've removed the actuator for now because we're going to have to chop that because it sits too far forward and just gets in the way of everything. So we'll chop the bracket, and we actually have the actuator sit heaps further back on the bracket, so it's sitting in line with the front face of the compressor housing, and then we'll just shorten, because as you can see here there's heaps of adjustments, so we can shorten it all up, so that'll still work as it needs to, but for now we're just test fitting without it. I've had to notch out the engine mount, just not really like much of a difference, it's just on the outside of it here, so literally just had to take some metal out of it. And then we're going to take the manifold off, and we're going to cut the flange off because it needs to go backwards a little bit that way, because the turbo that we have, the new turbo, is longer physically than that one, so it's kind of not in exactly the same spot, but there's not too much adjustment needed for it all to fit up and bolt up nicely. So we're going to take this off and we'll get that done and kind of put it back together and see how it sits. Alright, so I was having a lot of trouble with the placement of the turbo and trying to get it right. So what I did was actually jack the turbo up underneath and got it in the position that I wanted it, and then kind of tack welded the flange on. So now that I can let the jack down, hopefully without the turbo falling out, and the turbo should still be there. Look at that. So now we can pull it out, and that's the position that we actually want the turbo in. She's definitely, yeah, it's just a bit of a mission with how big the front of this turbo is. But look at that. So now we have to pull it off and actually weld the manifold up all properly, and then hopefully we can fit the turbo up properly. We're going to spray this all nice and black as well. So see if we can actually pull it off now. Hopefully there's enough room. Good news, it all came out in one piece, which is awesome. Now it's time to do the final passes around the manifold to weld it all up. And then we're going to spray it black with our heat paint, which we have here. And then we're going to chuck it all back together and bolt it up. And it should be the last time we bolt the turbo up, I think. But man, I've done like a million times on and off today just trying to get the positioning right. But it's just so important. You just have to take your time and get it right. So yeah, fingers crossed. But let's weld it up. We'll take it outside and give it a spray. Alright, here's the finished product. Man, that turned out way too nice. Something is wrong with me today because I actually did something okay. Excuse the welds. They're not like super amazing, but that's because I'm using my mighty gasless MIG. And I really need to upgrade to a gas MIG, but at the same time, there's no holes. So, that's the main thing. Next job, obviously, we've got to bolt them both together and fit it up. How exciting. Not gonna lie guys, I'm like low-key proud of this. It's pretty cool. I should also mention that the turbos, max speeding rod turbo, comes with the gaskets and flanges and everything that you need for the turbo as well. So no searching around everywhere, because they're all right here. Hell yeah. So we're gonna throw this thing together now. Bolted together. Time to drop it in and kind of see how it all sits. Please fit the way it did before. Fingers crossed. There she is, all mounted. Turbo is officially in. Look, it clears everything. I even put an intake pipe, which is a mock-up thing obviously. It'll be different when we actually do it, but just to make sure that everything kind of slots on and fits how it should. But look at that guys, that's mental. Whew. Isn't it crazy that these days you can just buy a turbo that actually works for a couple of $100? I'm actually really proud of this setup. It clears everything, you know, I started it, I revved it, because the engine obviously shifts a little bit on its mounts, but all perfect, no worries, nothing hits anything. So very, very happy with that. The budget Evo is one step closer to being an Evo. Well, it's a couple of steps closer with the front bumper and the turbo. So the plans are, we're going to take the battery out because it's just so chunky. We'll take all this stuff out and we'll start working on the intercooler and the piping, the oil lines and all that stuff. So that'll be the next step, but really the hardest part I reckon is done, other than building the exhaust. Actually that's quite hard, but this part is a really important step, and it's mounted. It's not coming off anymore. That's it, it's there, it's on the engine. The engine's officially turbo. It's pretty freaking sweet. So that's it for today's video guys. Tomorrow we're going to be tackling more of the turbo build, so make sure you tune in, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and if you're enjoying the series, hit that like button as well guys. I think we're up to a week of daily vlogging today, maybe, or might be tomorrow. It's been an awesome time. I'm going to continue on. Lockdown is going for at least another 2 weeks, so that's another 2 weeks of daily vlogging we're definitely going to be doing. Me carrying on daily vlogging after that lockdown, whenever it gets lifted, is completely dependent on everyone's response to these videos. If it's worthwhile and worth my time actually doing it, because it's a huge amount of effort, I'm going to continue on. So tell your mates, share the budget Evo build, get everyone on board, and I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video where we tackle more of this beautiful car. Peace! Also, don't forget to use my code MikeLake for 15% off the Max Speeding Rods website. Bye!